Hello and welcome to another episode of Stories from the Set. My name's Jesus. I'll be your host. Feel free to call me Jesus. Before I introduce my guests, I have a little bit of housekeeping. Along with this episode, I'm going to be uploading an episode that just tells you about me. I'm introducing myself to you. I'm letting you know who I am, what I've done, and why I'm doing this. I hope you'll take some time and listen. I'm just going to give away a little bit of it so you can understand. Prior to my freelance career, I guess you could call it, I was fired from every job I ever had. So, if you want to understand why, how, take a listen. It's fascinating. It's a cautionary tale. Enjoy yourselves. Okay. Also, even though she's a sound mixer, we're a little hot in a lot of places in the beginning because she didn't think that she didn't think the wave sign was large enough, and it just turns out the volume was down, the wave sign was fine, and all we had to do was extend it to make it look like the way she wanted it to. So I try to adjust that as we go along, so please bear with me in the beginning. I did my best to mitigate it all. I don't think it'll be that annoying, but you'll definitely hear it. So that's it. Now, let me introduce my guest. On today's episode, we're going to hear from the sound department. She's a sound mixer who graduated from San Diego State University, magna cum laude. She was such a talented writer. For her senior year, the graduating class had 5 projects to choose from and chose 2 of hers to produce for their senior thesis projects. This unassuming millennial arrives on set armed with technical prowess beyond her years. Please welcome...
There's any mistake.
I'll let you know if there's any mistake
and
whatsoever.
I restart, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, I would like to welcome to the podcast Alexandra Parral.
Hello.
Hello. we have the sound department in. In fact, we had sound issues, didn't we?
Yeah, we had sound issues because I'm very obsessive, and I was just asking a lot of questions. But it's fine.
So, I can tell by your accent you're probably not from the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So, where are you originally from?
Well, you might be surprised, but I was born in San Diego.
Oh, you were born in San Diego?
Yeah.
Are you a citizen?
Yes.
Oh my God.
All my life.
I was like, my apologies. I honestly thought that you were brought over as a child, or you came here like a teenager or something like that.
Well, yeah, that's what happened. So I was born in San Diego, and then I was raised in Tecate.
Okay.
Where the town is
famous for their beer, I see.
Yeah, the beer, and it's 30 minutes from Tijuana. And it's just 30 minutes from San Diego. So I grew up there until I was 16, and then I came to finish high school. And
can I ask you to do one thing and just bring the mic down a little bit?
Yes.
So we can see your face?
Yeah, there?
Works for me.
Okay. So, Tecate is 30 minutes from San Diego, and I came to finish high school. And then from high school, I went to film school in San Diego State.
Oh, you went to San Diego State Film School.
Mm-hmm.
What got you into sound? Because I know I avoided sound, and this is the only reason why, is because I went to LACC, and the sound class was taught on Saturdays at 7 a.m. For 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I said, there's no way I'm going to take sound.
Yeah. Nobody wants to do sound, I feel. So, when I was in film school, I was like, okay, well, I don't speak English very well, so I felt back then I don't think I could be director or writer, because I feel like you need super good English for that. So
your English sounds fine. You have an accent, but it's not like I can't understand what you're saying.
Thank you. So, at the end of those years, I took the advanced classes, and I was forced to write, and it ended up that I was a good writer. And then for the advanced class, they pick 5 projects. Not everybody gets to do their own stories.
Okay.
They vote.
Right, that's normal.
And then your thesis film, let's say, they vote and they pick 5, and 2 of those were mine that I wrote. Yeah.
2 of the 5 were yours?
Yes.
I think that's unfair.
Well, I pitched them and people voted.
Well, that's great.
So, and then I got to direct one of them.
Why didn't you direct both of them?
Because the other one I didn't want to direct it. It was,
oh, really?
Yeah. So
I guess when you're such a good writer, then you can choose whether you want to direct your project or not, right?
Of course. Anyways, I mean, that's like a student college level things, but it was the advanced class, like the last class before graduation.
Right.
So I had to do a good job. So I ended up directing one, and the two short films got awards and got invited to some festivals and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, so I was like, oh, I should be a director or a writer, blah blah blah. But then I graduated, and I didn't have any experience and like in the actual world.
Right.
And back in college, I did sound for some of the projects for other people, and nobody wants to do sound. So after graduation, people will contact me, hey, can you help me with sound for this? And then I will be like, I don't have equipment. And they will be, okay, I rent it for you, can you do it? And then I will be, yeah. And then that's how I started doing more sound for other people. So it wasn't like I picked sound, it was like
sound picked you?
Yeah, sound picked me. And
do you want to tell people how we met?
Sure.
Okay.
But okay.
What was the name of the show?
I don't want to say.
Let's just say it was airing in South America, right?
Some people from South America doing soap opera kind of thing.
Soap opera? Wasn't it? It's like celebrity reenactment shows, you know?
Yes, it was horrible.
Did we have to shoot this like? Did we have to shoot all three of them again?
I think so, but they had horrible sound equipment, and they only gave me 2 mics, and they had like 10 people in every scene. And I think I did my best with what I had, but you cannot mic 10 people talking with just 2 lavaliers. And
that's what you had?
No, I didn't have that. That's what they gave me.
Oh, that's what they gave you.
Because I didn't have equipment, but they told me when they hired me, oh, don't worry about it, we have equipment. And I'm like, okay. And then I got there, and that's what they had. So I did my best with what they gave me, but that doesn't mean it was good, because I think they were cutting a lot of money from the production.
They were definitely not a big budget, were they?
It was kind of sketchy, actually.
Especially the last day's shoot in the hotel.
Everything was sketchy, and like, I don't know.
I was actually surprised they got that. I was surprised there was nudity in one of the episodes. How about that?
Oh yeah. So I don't know. I felt horrible as a sound mixer there, because it was like one of my first jobs.
Right.
That I wanted to do it right, but they gave me barely any tool to work.
You know what's funny? Do you remember how like the director and George would like debate in Spanish, but it was like completely calm?
Yeah.
You're like, he's getting really mad at him. I'm like, go ahead, go play by play.
Yeah. It was kind of weird, and then I didn't enjoy it. And then there I learned that I liked to work with American, like the American way of working in film or TV, or because it's very organized. And I like how everybody knows what are they doing, how they have to.
Is it not that way in other places?
I don't. Well, the few times I have worked with like Latino kind of things only, is not very organized, or they are very passionate, or they argue a lot in front of people. Or they don't plan ahead, or they cut a lot of costs because they want something in a specific. So I don't know. I like the American way of working, and I enjoy it.
Okay, well, that was our project. We're not going to say the name of it, but let's just say it was a very scandalous show. That's all I'm going to say. It was very scandalous.
Yes. But yeah.
Okay, so after you left that show,
yes.
Where'd you go on from there?
I think.
Did you start collecting your own equipment, or?
No, so when I graduated, I was like once in a while doing a gig here and there, editing or After Effects, because I edit too.
Okay.
So I was like doing that or the other or PAing here or there, but it was like only like 2 gigs a month. Or camera operator somewhere. And then I gained a lot of weight because my last years in college I felt were very stressful.
Right.
I gained weight. I was very stressed. I was not like eating well or anything, and then I was just like tired. So I went to Mexico for like some period of time, and one time I got a horrible headache. And I went to my doctor in Mexico, and he was like, you know what, you need to pay attention to yourself. So I will give you like a plan of eating and stuff, so you get back into shape, and like you pay attention to yourself. You need to relax and stuff. And I was like, okay, because also not working is stressful.
Yes, not working is very stressful.
So I was like, okay, so I got a job as a barista in Tecate, and I worked there for like $10 a day, let's say. Which is high.
That's high. Okay.
Yeah, because I think the minimum wage there per hour is under $1.
Oh, really?
So I was earning more than $1 per hour. So the meaning like $10 per day. So that's pretty good for a barista there.
Okay, good to know.
Good to know. So imagine me working for $10 a day there, and then I was financing my food for my to get back in shape and nutrition, whatever. And I still had my place in San Diego, so if I got a gig, I would go, and I will ask for the day off in the coffee shop. But that was not very often. And at the same time, I was invited to festivals and stuff for the films I had just made in my last year.
Oh, you didn't get to go?
No, I did. I mean, my mom will be like, here, $100 so you can go to like Palm Springs.
Okay.
And then actually, when I went to Palm Springs when I was very poor, I got robbed in the hotel.
You got robbed? Who robbed you?
I don't know. They never found out. And
someone got into your hotel room?
yeah, I mean, it was a very sketchy place. And that's where we were told to stay, and everybody got around the pool, and me and my friend were set on another room near the alley.
Right.
And yeah, and the day of the screening of my movie or my short film, they robbed me and my friend, and then
that had to be an inside job.
yes, it had to be. And the receptionist was a guy and was very sketchy.
Oh, yeah.
And then after that, nobody cared. And I was doing so much effort to go to the festival.
Right.
Because if I was invited, I wanted to go, even though I didn't have any money. And I decided, because the only thing they didn't got was my outfit for the award ceremony.
That was it? They took everything else?
Except that.
Wow.
They took even my underwear. But they didn't take my gown for the award ceremony.
That's so funny.
It was the award ceremony day, and I dressed nice and blah blah blah. But I was like, no, how come like they robbed me? Nobody cared. The police arrived like 3 hours after. The receptionist didn't even look how the room looked. Like, he didn't like walk over and see.
There was no security cameras or anything?
Maybe, but that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, they didn't care. Nobody cared. And me and my friend were like so upset about how come we live in Mexico and it's supposed to be not safe, and then we come here for a festival, and I'm doing a lot of efforts to come here.
Right.
No money or anything, and then this happens. So I decided to dress with a trash bag. And I think I actually look good. Yeah.
Did it have a belt or something?
I have a picture and I will send it to you.
Okay. I'm going to post that.
Yes.
Definitely.
So I actually did a good job. I put, I had some Valentino shoes replicas.
Okay.
So I wore those.
Right.
So they look super great. And
super
then
great.
the only underwear they didn't like steal from me was like black. So I kept that.
Obviously.
I just washed it at night and reused it in the morning for the award ceremony. And actually, my panties had a hole in the back because my dog was like playing with me and he made a hole on it. So I put gaffer's tape. So I was
Gaffer's
wearing
tape works for a lot of stuff.
So I put gaffer's tape on my panties and I was wearing my bra and I was wearing a transparent trash bag and I looked great.
Oh yeah? Okay, good.
And I went there and I went to the red carpet and they took pictures with me. A lot of people approached me, but Palm Springs didn't say anything about it because it's bad promotion for the festival, you know, like robbery at the festival. So nobody wanted to write anything about it. They took pictures of me. That many people talked to me. The mayor gave me $100.
The mayor gave you $100?
Yeah, so I could drive back.
That was nice.
Yes, and then people wrote about me in San Diego and Mexico, but not in Palm Springs because it's not good for them to say anything about that.
Yeah, you don't want to say budding director robbed and left with only a trash bag, panties, and a bra.
Yeah, and then the thing is like the funny thing is that I actually won the audience award.
Oh, really?
For the movie, not because of the robbery. So I got to talk to the people in my trash bag outfit. And I went up there and I
It's so funny that you wear a trash bag. I can't wait to see that picture.
Yes. So I actually went there and I talked to people like about the film and thank you and blah blah blah. But they also asked me to explain why the reason of my outfit, and I was like, okay, this is a protest because I got robbed and nobody cared. Like nobody cared. Imagine if I was raped and I had the same treatment. That's horrible. So it was kind of like a protest,
right?
To grab attention, but also promotion. Like at the same time, promoting myself and also protesting because I won, so I had the right to speak to all the people in the festival.
Right.
And James almost was there.
Oh, really?
Yes, and another director was there that won awards, like Lifetime awards and whatever. And I'm like, oh, and then James almost he got a Lifetime award, and he was like when he was talking, he was thanking everybody, and he said, "Oh, please invite me to like movies about social issues and stuff." And I'm like, "Oh, maybe he like says hi to me or something." I mean, it wasn't a big festival. It wasn't the Palm Springs Film Festival. It was arts, music, and
there's so many festivals. I
one
know,
of them.
Yeah.
And then James almost was like 2 yards from me. I was next to him, and I felt like I had people around me, you know, saying hi, I'm sorry for what happened. James almost was there, and I thought, oh, if he cares about social issues, maybe he will say hi to me or something.
Right.
No, nothing. And I'm like, I'm not going to approach him and say hi because I mean, he's a big actor, and I don't want to like bother him.
Right.
I feel it's up to him if he has some respect for what I'm doing to say something. But he didn't say anything. And then some of the people at the festival were like, "Oh, I'm sorry that happened to you. If you need clothes, you can take some." I'm like, no, that's not the point.
What?
That's not the point of why I'm dressing like this.
They should care about what happened to me. Somebody should be investigating this, right?
Yes, it wasn't about not having clothes. It was about how unfair it is for some filmmakers to do a lot of effort to do films, and then some unfair things happen and nobody cares.
Right.
It was more like a protest kind of thing, and yeah, so that's what happened there. And for one of my so then I came back and kept working on the coffee shop.
Right.
And then I think I will get some editing jobs again, as I said. I will.
Speaking of, like, would you be interested in like, what do you think of sound editing since you edit?
I did it,
or
but
sound design even.
I did it, but it's for simple videos. It wasn't like
you wouldn't want to get into
5.0, like 7.1 kind of surround thing. I was just simple stereo stuff and layers of things. So I came back, and then I was like, I need to go back out there and like and like do something. I cannot just keep living in Mexico working at a coffee shop after I graduated with honors from college. And
UCB, right? USB.
No, San Diego State.
San Diego State.
SDSU. So I did graduate as Summa Cum Laude.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. And then I was working at a coffee shop after that in Mexico for $10 a day.
Yeah.
So I was
Summa
like,
Cum Laude should not be pouring coffee.
It was like something was weird. So, so I asked for a job in San Diego as a waitress.
Okay.
And I got one. I was given 1 day a week, which was great because
was it more than $10 a day?
Of course. So I will make like at least $100 per day.
And you're living with your mom, I guess, when
I was in Mexico with my parents.
With your parents, right?
And then when I was waitressing 1 day a week in San Diego, with those $100, I started saving up for some cheap microphones.
And what were the first? What were the, like when you saved up? You said what were you like aiming towards as far as like equipment, like low end that you thought was like worth it?
An H6, assume H6.
So you audio nerds, you know what that is.
That was the first thing I got, but you know, in the lower spectrum of things because I didn't have any money, and then I got two Rodelink lavaliers, which now I don't dare to use because I feel it's a different system and it's not ideal for what I'm doing now. If I was doing like Instagram videos or it's different, but for what I'm doing now I cannot use those.
Okay.
I don't feel like it. Yes.
So what if like somebody like wants to make nothing but Instagram videos? Would those be the mics you'd recommend for them?
Yeah, because they are easy to use and they are they are very easy to use and they are not heavy and they are not that expensive. So
what do you think of my mics? Because you offered before you text message. You're like, I could bring my mics and I'm like, I don't want you to work while you're here. We had a hard enough time just getting the system that was already set up.
Well, this is my first time seeing these mics, so I don't know. I haven't heard them or anything, so I cannot say anything about them.
Well, I'll let you listen after we're all done.
Okay. And what else happened? Okay, so I got cheap equipment, and then my friend Dylan Hirsch, which is a sound mixer in San Diego, he had like fancy equipment and he had to reject some gigs, so he would recommend me. And
that's nice.
Yeah, and I was like, but I don't have equipment. I'm like, that's their problem. If they want to hire you, they will rent equipment. I'm like, okay. And yeah, some people start hiring me and renting equipment for me, so from there I was getting paid way more money, but my money I didn't use to spend in my things. It was for equipment. So I kept buying equipment, getting better gigs.
Like, as you go on, are you like increasing how the quality of your equipment as you go along?
Yes.
Or are you saving up for?
No. So I was doing high-end gigs. Well, I don't know, for the mayor or something with my cheap equipment, and then the people that hired me start saying, maybe you need better equipment. And I was like, yes, I do. And I had to spend more money. So I have been like many years trying to live, and whatever I make, I just reinvest, like buy more.
Okay.
Or better.
So what's the equipment you like? What are you recording on right now when you're on set? Obviously, you've got your.
Well, right now I have a Sound Devices 633, and then I have Electrosonics wireless systems, and I have with DPA lavaliers, and I have Chops mics for dialogue, and I mean that's pretty much the basic setup. I have many add-on like things that I don't have to mention, the boom pole, the cables, whatever.
I remember when you got that pole, you were so excited. You're like, this is my new pole.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was back then.
Yeah.
Oh, but that was another pole.
Oh, so you have a better pole now?
Oh yeah. Yeah. This is yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
is one pole better than
you
another?
were there when I got the first
Right.
boom pole,
Right.
and I still have it, but it's heavier than what I use now, and it's cheaper.
Just out of curiosity, what's your current boom pole? What's the material that's used?
It's an ambient boom pole, so it's not very heavy.
Okay, so it's not like a carbon fiber. I don't know what they make it boom poles out of. So
I think it's carbon fiber. No. Honestly, I don't remember.
you just know it's light.
What I care, I don't know the material. What I cared is that it was light. Yeah, I remember looking into that. Yes, so it's an ambient boom pole. Yeah, that's what I use now.
So, like, for someone starting out and getting into the business who wants to, like, audio's their thing.
Yes.
What package would you, like, put together for them? Say, hey, start with this.
To start,
Yeah.
Assume F8 and Sennheiser's G3s.
Okay, good to know.
Mm-hmm.
And is like I always see Sennheiser, like there's a lot of mics out there. Sennheiser's really the only one that I recognize. Is that like a like industry standard type of mic that everybody has?
I mean, they are not like super expensive, but they are not. They are reliable. They are reliable, and
which is
which is good.
Yeah.
And then you can scan frequencies. So with the Rode links, they automatically scan some frequency. But with these, you could pick the frequency. Maybe you're working with another sound mixer, and there's a situation where you cannot. Let's say you're in an event, and they have mics on their own, wireless, and you cannot use the same frequencies or whatever. Then you can actually pick. So that's a thing that is important, and yeah, so I will say the Zoom F8 and the Sennheisers.
Okay. What's been your favorite gig so far? Well, how long have you been working? You haven't been working that long.
Well, for now, it has been 5 years.
5 years.
Professionally doing sound.
Professionally doing sound. Okay, so you're still fairly new.
I guess.
mean, you got some years under your belt. You've got a lot of. But
yes.
What's been your favorite and what's been the most difficult?
I don't know if I have favorites.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, I think my favorite is a recent one when I went to Ecuador. And it was great. The experience of going there was great, and I think the topic was very interesting.
What was the topic?
It was about health. So I felt when I was doing it, it was actually useful for the world to be recording this. So it made me feel satisfied with what I was doing. Like scientific kind of health things.
And how long were you down there?
Just like 4 days.
4 days? Was it humid?
Yes.
A lot of bugs?
But I like it because it was useful that I know Spanish.
Were you the only Spanish speaker?
I think so.
Okay.
In the crew, yeah. So.
Because our G&E crew, we didn't speak any. Everybody spoke Spanish, but me,
Except G&E.
Brian, and John. Me, Brian, and John. We were the only ones who didn't speak any.
Yeah. And it's funny because I was the only one talking. The only people I was talking to, it was you guys.
Yeah.
Remember?
Wasn't it stupid how they got like the non-native Spanish speaker for that one? I think he played that that one comedian.
Oh, okay.
Like, even though I didn't speak Spanish, I'm like, that accent is off.
Yeah,
like,
it was
why did
kind
they
of
hire
weird.
this guy?
Yeah, it was kind of weird. But yeah, I remember from that shoot, I was only talking to the English-speaking people, which is, now that I think about, because you knew how the film industry works,
right.
And I felt more in place with you guys than with the other people that were just trying to make it work
like
somehow. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I did a good job there because I didn't have the tools. And if I had the experience, I would have said no to that job.
Oh, okay.
But back then, I was like, I need experience.
Well, yeah, you need to get excited. I mean, the first gig that I had, well, I was still in film school, and somebody, I can't remember who turned me on to this. I worked on a feature film, and I was just a PA with the Gripen Electric.
Yeah.
And one day it was just me and the DP setting up all the shots. I'm laying down track, I'm putting up lights, we're shooting in this house.
Yeah. And you were the PA.
And I was the PA, and I'm like wondering, why am I not getting paid for this?
Yeah. Well, that's how I felt for this shoot.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I wanted to do a good job, but I didn't feel I could do a good job. But as a new person, I thought, oh, well, maybe that's how it works.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought, too. I thought, I'm paying my dues.
Yes, exactly.
But, you know, anyway, I don't want to go down that road. So, what's been your most difficult gig? Like, does the number of mics begin to, like, cause problems?
No, I feel the most difficult. No, sometimes I make 8 people and it's fine. I feel at this point in my experience, the most difficult ones is the ones where I have to, like, carry a lot of things fast by myself because I get tired and my gear is heavier now, and I'm older now. So I'm not that
you're
old.
Still quite
I
young.
look young.
No, don't even.
No, but actually
I don't even think you're 30.
No, I'm not.
Okay, then let's shut up about age. Almost doesn't count.
But it's like carrying a baby like the whole day.
Oh, I get it.
You know?
With the
it's like being pregnant.
Yeah,
so
right.
And then besides being pregnant, it's like carrying more stuff. And besides being pregnant and carrying more stuff, it's miking people and making sure it sounds good, giving time code, making sure the director hears fine on the complex, and then like batteries and then when I'm by myself and then I have to do all that, which that's what I do. But sometimes it's tiring because you're under the sun or you're in a horse track or whatever it is, and then you get tired. I mean, I'm more experienced now, but you get tired. I feel those are the difficult ones.
Where you gotta, so like when they have like I don't know, a dolly shot where you gotta like keep your boom and run with the guy or something like that.
No, it's more where it's not about when I'm shooting. The shooting is or recording. The recording is the easy part.
Okay, the recording is easy.
I
it's
mean,
when you gotta move your equipment, or
I mean, sometimes, for example, we have to go to I don't know. Let's say racetrack, and then for horses, and then we have to carry equipment, but I have to make sure I have the right equipment because we might do something. So, or when they don't tell you what you are going to be doing,
right?
So you have to be prepared for anything. I don't know. I guess weight. The most weight I'm carrying, the most difficult the gig is because then I get tired.
Comprende. Okay, so what do you say to the camera crew or anybody else who complains about having to wait for sound? Is that a pet peeve of yours? Do you get tired of it, or?
Well, one of my things is I try not to hold for sound. So I try to be prepared. If for some reason I'm not prepared, it's because I have a reason for it. So I usually don't hold for sound if I can. I only hold for sound if I know there won't be a second take or or like I have to make sure the director or the editor has a clean take of something, or so I have to. I usually don't hold for sound if I can. It's if I do it, it's because the coat. I hate coats, like suit coats.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand.
That's noisy.
Right.
Yes.
How do you stop material from rubbing on your mic and causing those noises?
Well, you buy things, concealers, fur, things like that, whatever works. But sometimes for me, the fabrics are very different. Some are noisy.
What's the noisiest fabric?
Coats. That's what I hate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
it's just like they go against the shirt, and they are both hard fabrics. And I mean, you could put the mic on the tie if they're wearing a tie,
right?
Or under the shirt, or you have options. But sometimes they have, let's say, a lot of hair, or they are wearing, I don't know, a specific kind of thing, and you have to put it on between the coat and the shirt, which I hate. For some reason, I don't know. And in those situations, I don't like it because it might be noisy. But if they're wearing a tie, I put it on the tie, or under the shirt, or in the opening on the neck.
Is there any place where you were like, oh, I have to put a mic there?
Well, in the production we worked together.
Yes.
I had to mic people in bikinis.
Oh, that's right, you did. There wasn't much room, and those ladies were not, what's the word I'm looking for? There was not a lot covering what they had.
Yes, and I made it work. I mean, it was like too
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of, like, she's got to hide the mics.
Yeah, because I think some of the days we didn't even have a boom pole or something. Remember? I don't know. It was kind of weird. Or I was using the boom pole to mic other people because we only had like 2 lavaliers.
Right.
So I had to put the lav on the person that was out of the group, so I could pick up the group noise or the group sound with the boom pole, because, I mean, that's what I had. That's what they gave me.
Just out of curiosity, do you do any exercises to work these shoulder muscles? Because, I've held a boom pole before for, whatever project that I'm sure I was working on for free. But, after a while, it's kind of hard.
Well, if I have to hold it a lot, if I can, I use a stand, a C-stand, or a stand, and I just put it there and I rest. But if I'm on the road and I have to hold it by myself, I think it was good for me that I used to be a swimmer.
Okay.
So I feel I'm very strong in my back, and I lift a lot of weight with my cases, because I try to put everything in like 2 cases, so they are extra heavy, and I have to do it myself, like lifting like
you
every
need to
day.
start requesting a PA.
I have been thinking about that, just to, I mean, I don't know, used to help me out, like kind of A2, like kind of like, or utility, like to help me in some things, because sometimes they actually I need to do something else while other thing has to be done,
right,
instead of wasting time. But up to now I have been fine. But yeah, I think swimming, and I did water polo. But in high school I did a lot of water polo and swimming.
Water polo is difficult.
Yeah, so
I tried to do water polo.
Yeah, so
I quit after
yeah
less than a minute. I'm like,
so I feel like I'm a very strong person. Like,
yes, you got a good core, is what you're saying. You got good.
Yes, it might not show, but I feel like I am a strong person. Yeah. I
believe you.
Physically,
you're physically fit and strong and ready to go.
Yes, but that doesn't mean I go to the gym every day. Yeah.
Right. I mean, anybody who says they do, I don't know. I don't want to say that, but as you learn more, like, what do you do to make sure that you're finding your next job? Like, how often are you contacting colleagues, peers, saying, hey, I'm going to be free in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And, explain your technique is to make sure that you're constantly working. 'Cause
Okay. My technique to be constantly working is being nice person.
Well, with that smile, your smile is very disarming. Because I remember the first
Yes.
time.
Because yeah, it's just like usually some people are guys and they're very like, well, some are very nice and some are very weird, I feel.
Okay.
And I don't know many, but from what I saw in my experiences, that's how it is. And I just try to make a comfortable environment, because yes, it's awkward that you go into somebody's shirt and like unbutton and like put something there, you know. And sometimes I have to mic kids, and maybe they are more comfortable with me than an older guy, or you know, or women. You know, it maybe it's more comfortable that I mic them. Maybe.
I remember.
Yeah.
One of the actresses on the show where I don't remember what I was doing, but I turned around and you just like had to went underneath her dress because it was so tight under there.
Yeah. I mean, and sometimes these actresses they don't wear anything under. So imagine like anything, like nothing. So I feel more comfortable if I'm doing it. And then if it's a guy, they don't care.
Yeah, guys don't.
So I just make sure I'm nice on set, and I make sure that the editor has a clean take of something. And if I don't have a clean take, I make sure I tell them. But I also, if it's not a super clean take, but I know they had one before or something, and they are super rushing, I'm not going to hold the production to have every single take extremely clean, when maybe I know, like I just did a feature like this week. I did the last 3 days, and like some of the takes started and I knew maybe the actor was not saying the line right. I mean, and then the mic was not sounding good because of the clothing situation and the movement that they were doing. So I'm not going to interrupt to say, no, hold for sound, let me fix that, because I know they will cut anyways. So I just make sure it flows smooth, and I just interrupt when I have to, really have to, and I try to have a nice attitude, or just don't be in the way. Just be quiet and just because also I have heard that sound mixers that talk a lot are also annoying. So they don't want that either. So I just try to have a nice attitude, and I usually don't contact people to have jobs. People recommend me.
Okay, good.
So people recommend me, and they contact me and they say, are you available this day, or stuff like that. So that has been good up to now.
So being really good at your job, and you know, not holding up production, and being you know, being flexible, I guess.
But it's about the attitude, I feel too, because
no one wants a bitchy sound person, right?
Yeah, and I mean, you can be if you have to, but
I would say it's sort of not bitchy.
But
if you're
you know, you're going to be there for like 14 hours with these people, so you might as well try to be nice to people. I think that's very important, to be nice to people, because you never know what they are going through.
Right.
And sometimes sometimes I don't want to, but I hear
you hear quite a few conversations.
People, you hear some conversations, and then I stop listening, or I mute the channels, whatever I need to do. But then you hear like, oh, my dog died today, or and then they are doing a comedy thing, and I'm like, whoa, okay, well, let's just do this, like.
Just out of curiosity, how often have you heard somebody go to the bathroom?
Not that often. Maybe like 2 times.
Okay.
Because when I'm not when the camera is not rolling, I try not to not to hear it. Right. I mute the channels. But I only hear when we are about to, because I need to like see if the movements are not noisy to the mic, or they are placed in a good place, things like that. So I do hear before we are going to shoot. I don't hear after we did a take.
So, like, let's say you had an unlimited budget,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna go work on a big feature.
Mm-hmm.
What equipment would you want to have on that shoot? Like, if it doesn't matter.
Well, if you had, like, right now I have like a kind of cart for my things, but it's not like a official sound card. It's right now I carry my sound bag around and with my harness and my boom pole, and I have a stand for it, and I could put it in my little cart I have right now because I have a lot of gear, but maybe a official sound card.
Official sound card?
Like
I see
with monitors.
The last shoot that I worked on, the sound guy, he was like at his cart, and he had he had his PA over there with the
yes, exactly.
With the boom. So see, that's what you need. You need that PA.
Just that sound card with monitors right now, and then the antennas to like have more like distance.
Right.
So that will be my next purchase if I buy something.
Okay.
I mean, I could buy it right now, but I don't really have jobs that need that really. If I was doing like a sitcom or something, but right now I'm mostly doing like interviews, documentaries, web series, shows that don't really require that.
Right.
So it's not like I need it, but if I keep moving up, like up to now, maybe I sooner like I will need that card.
Do you want to get in? I don't know what the sound union is called. Is it called the sound union? Do you want to become a union member, or?
I want it, but I'm not working a lot of union jobs, and I don't have my sound mixer friends that are in union also are not getting a lot of union jobs. So it takes, and it's expensive, and it takes like a lot. I have to show like 100 days, I think, of
100 days
of work, which I have.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't know. I have been busy, and I haven't done like union long shows or anything. So right now it's not like a priority, let's say. But I think maybe if I keep doing this and then I get offered like
you're
shows.
You're fairly young in your career. I mean, obviously 5 years is a lot. 5 years of experience is enough to like know exactly what you're doing and what you need. But you're probably going to want to be in the union when you're like, oh, I need a retirement plan.
Well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I want to retire in Mexico. No, I don't know yet, because I mean, I haven't working so much.
Would you like to work on a telenovela?
No.
No.
I don't think so, because again, that's another way of working.
Okay, I get it. There's a certain style that they have that you're just not down with, huh?
Of work. Of the people you work with.
So do you? What sound hacks have you learned in your 5 years?
Well, things like sometimes you mic the person on one side, and once they are acting, they are actually facing the opposite side from where you put the mic.
Okay.
So let's say they're wearing a collar shirt, and I put it on the left side, but they actually, when they are talking on the scene, they talk to the right side. And maybe they didn't do that on the blocking.
Okay.
And then I don't realize that until we're about to shoot, when they are actually rehearsing. So then maybe if it's very important or crucial for the scene, then I change the place of the mic. Or wind, if it's windy, the beach is windy.
The beach is windy.
Things, if they're sweating and the water gets into the mic, some mics are more waterproof than others. And I think I had 2 that died on me when it was raining.
Yeah.
And that's not, but I was also booming both people, so that wasn't a problem. The lavaliers were as a backup in that case. But yeah, things like that. Humidity is not good.
Oh yeah, so sound changes with humidity.
Mm,
You have issues with sound when there's high humidity.
I mean, I think I had one when I was by the ocean one time. We were shooting on a boat, and then when it was raining one time, because I think the labs got a little bit wet. I think because the
So what do you do to make sure that they don't, to try and keep them from getting wet, or is it just like they get
no,
wet?
it was just that specific gig. I usually they get wet and it's fine. I mean, one time I had to make a person that was wearing an octopus, so it was wet.
That's interesting.
But it was fine.
Okay. Would you like to do? I was gonna say underwater documentaries, but I don't think those use sound. Do they use sound in those?
Yes, I think they use sound, but I don't know how good it is.
Yeah, because just out of curiosity, how important is it to have like someone with experience, like be your mentor in this field? Because the way I look at sound, like I hear audio engineers talk to each other, and I'm just like, it is like a totally different language.
Well, I have like some friends that if I have a question, I ask them.
Mm-hmm.
But right now in LA, but back then I only had one in San Diego, and then any question I had, I will ask him. Technical question.
Mm-hmm.
But I find that sound is a lot of intuition, like common sense kind of thing.
Okay.
And also there was one DP that helped me a lot because he will hire me as a sound mixer, and I was not very experienced, and he will put me with high-end people like Olympians and stuff like that, and I will be like nervous, but he will be like, whatever you need to be 100% on your job, you have to say it. If you need a coffee, say it. If you need a minute, ask for it. If you need a pause to adjust the mic, you have to make eye contact with the producer. Whatever you need to like speak your needs so you can do your job 100%.
Yeah, you
so,
should be timid on the set because
to not be afraid of saying what I need to do my job 100%, and then that's like the mentor part of it. And then he will be like, okay, don't be afraid of putting the boom close. So sometimes it looks like I'm putting the boom like on the forehead, but actually you don't see it on the camera.
Right.
But it grabs better sound. But I'm not afraid to put it close.
Good.
Yeah.
What do you wish you had known prior to like your getting started? What are some of the things that you wish you would have known that you think would have helped you out in the beginning?
I feel like sometimes other people can make other people feel like they don't know just because I don't know, there is this weird attitude sometimes. I feel like you on set that it seems like you have to look like you know everything, and then when there is a new person or something, these people might make the other people feel like they don't know, but maybe they know more than these people that have this attitude. For example, sometimes back in the day I will be like, okay, I'm giving you time code for this camera, and there is a specific input or a specific cable, and then the DPs or the camera assistants will be like not that experienced, so they will be like, here it is in the audio input, and they will point to the hole for the audio input. I'm like, I'm not sure that's the one, and I will be insecure about myself,
right? Because
they will be, I thought they were maybe more experienced than me, and then I will be like, oh, maybe they are right, maybe I don't have the cable, maybe I'm wrong, but no, then eventually it's like, no, I was right, like I had the right cable, it's just they're pointing to the wrong place because they don't know.
Oh, so they're not familiar with the camera. They're like, it goes right here, right? Yeah, right there.
Yes, and this is like
and to not make themselves look bad, they kind of like, very like matter-of-factly about it.
yeah, they try to seem like they know, and they tell you as if you don't know, and then you feel like you should respect them because they are the DP or something, and then it turns out it's the opposite. Like maybe you have more experience than the other people, so maybe some more security about what you know.
Good. It's good to know. Be confident in your knowledge.
Yes, even if it's a little thing simple like that, it could freak you out when you are in a hurry. So more secure about yourself, about what you know, but don't stop listening to them. I mean, you can listen, consider, think about it, but then you take your own decisions.
Have you ever experienced any negativity on a set because you're a woman working in a field? I don't know how dominated that field is with men, but most of the sound engine, like, you're the only woman I know who works sound. That's why I wanted to have you on. I wanted to get that experience.
Your question is like if I ever feel treated differently because I'm a girl?
Yes. You ever feel treated like negatively, or I don't know.
No, maybe sometimes they like sometimes I show up to the set and I'm like ready to go, so maybe I'm just there like helping maybe the I don't know, I don't want to say like camera department or carrying or moving stuff, and then they are like, okay, where is the sound person, where is the sound guy, where is your sound guy? And I'm like, and then they point at me, and then I feel I look younger from what I am, and also I'm a girl and I'm not extremely tall and I'm Mexican, so I don't think I fit the usual image of a sound guy.
Okay.
So they are like surprised, but at the same time, at the end of the day, they love me because I'm like, I try to be nice, and I'm very conscious about like I feel like the emotional needs of people. Like sometimes people want to be treated nicely, or some people get nervous. They are just nervous people, and you have to be like gentle. And some people they are rude or angry, and you still have to manage to mic them.
So somebody's been rude with you while you're putting a mic on them?
One person, she's a basketball player.
Oh, really?
And I told her I will put the mic on you. This was for a commercial. I told her I will put the microphone on you, and she was like, okay. So I start lifting the shirt, and she was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm going to place the mic. Do you want to do it? And she was like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So I gave her the mic, and then she put it herself. And then I learned that I should ask, are you okay with me going through your shirt?
Oh, yeah.
Being specific. Are you okay with me going through your shirt, under your shirt, and putting it there? As opposite, like, I'm just going to place the mic.
Right.
But it was surprising for me because this is a quite famous character. So I thought she was used to it.
Oh.
I mean, that's why they hire her, because she's a celebrity kind of thing.
Okay.
So yeah, I was like, okay, well, I guess I will ask always.
Do you have any good? Do you have any funny stories that have happened while you've been filming?
Funny stories?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So nothing funny has ever happened on set while you've been there? Everybody's buttoned down and
but it's
focused?
not like funny for me,
Okay.
like for the sound department, like it doesn't have to be
sound related.
Oh, funny stories.
Yeah. It's like on set, like, what's a funny thing that happened while you were...
I don't know, I don't remember like right away.
Okay.
There are many things that are funny, but I don't remember right now.
What are some of the obstacles that you've had to overcome in various, I don't know, like either on location or on a stage? Are there things that, like
Obstacles?
batteries, like things that you've got to work around, I guess?
Obstacles.
I didn't think you would have to think that long. You must be so good at your job you don't have any.
No, well, I have done a lot of things. And the thing is, like, if you have an obstacle, let's say, you have to figure it out anyway, so it's not an obstacle anymore after that.
Right. Obviously, we all have to do workarounds, and there's, I can't stand, like, the job that I'm currently at. It drives me nuts when people are complaining about the way something. I'm like, oh, dude, don't complain to me about it. Find a way to do it.
Maybe for me, I will think, like, right now, today, for me, it's like struggling to have friends.
Struggling to have friends, okay.
Because usually I have friends, obviously, but it's difficult for me to, like, hang out with people because I'm always on the headphones, so it's not like I can be talking to people
right
on set.
Okay.
Right?
So those relationships.
And then, like, I'm there, like, 14 hours a day, like, let's say 6 a week.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have friends, yes, but maybe they are not available the day I'm free. Maybe I'm free on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have a regular job on Wednesday, so it's not like I will call them and say, hey, you want to hang out? And then I get to be friends with some people on the crew, but mostly it's like the DPs and the producers like me because they like to work with me,
mm-hmm.
and the actors like me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's difficult for me to, like, go and interact with, like, I don't know, other people, and because I have to make sure that it sounds good and stuff.
Right.
And then when I'm not doing something, maybe they are doing MOS, like they are doing something that they don't need me for, so they are busy while I'm free.
Now, people don't, like, I don't know, because, like, I have family members who listen to this. Can you please tell them what MOS stands for?
I forgot. It's a German thing, I believe.
Yeah.
I forgot the term.
That's like it's like mit out or something like that.
It was like I learned
it
in college, and I know it's German, but I forgot.
Well, tell them what it means, but okay, don't tell them what it means, but explain it, like, what is an MOS?
Well, it's something that is recorded on video that you don't need sound for because you might put music on it or a sound effect after.
So, like every music video ever made.
Yes. So, yeah, something that you don't need a sync sound for it at that moment when you are recording the video.
Right. I remember the first music video I worked on. I kept calling the roll, and then I realized, I'm like, why is everybody, like, not being quiet? And it didn't dawn on me that it's like, dude, they're
there is no sound.
I felt so stupid when I realized I don't have to call the roll because they're going to put music over all this. That's why everybody's talking.
Yeah.
But nobody said anything. No one said a word to me. No one came up to me and said, hey, man, you probably don't need to call the roll.
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
So I felt really stupid after, like, the third time when I realized, I'm like, oh, yeah, we're shooting a music video. I don't need to call the roll.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
And, so, like, cell phones, are they your enemy or?
No, they're only my enemy when I'm using context and the directors are like, why is my feed, like, noisy? And it's, I don't know, there is some interference sometimes with cell phones and the context. Really? I in my experience.
So, like, if somebody has a cell phone on them, they'll...
No, it's just like sometimes for some cell phones, in my experience, maybe, I don't know.
Like, you can hear people shuffling their feet?
I don't know, like, sometimes I put a cell phone very close to a cable.
Uh-huh. You're gonna have to explain this to me because I'm unaware of this phenomenon.
And then I hear some interference. Or if the director is wearing a contact and then you put he's like texting or calling and, like, right next to the Comtech,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you might hear some noises, but it's for them, and then they feel like, oh, it's noisy, but it's not. It's just they're texting a lot or something. But it should not be like that. Usually, it's on the side, and then you're texting on the other side, so it's fine. But sometimes it's not. They have the two things together, and they might create interference.
So cell phones will kind of interfere with what you're recording?
No, I don't think so. No.
Then then who's hearing the sound? I'm very confused.
The director or the script supervisor or who's listening to the reference sound.
Oh, I get it.
Not what I'm recording.
Okay. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
How often have you been in the middle of a take and a cell phone goes off? Like, I mean, I know what I get on set and I immediately just put it on airplane mode. And then
it hasn't. I maybe 2-3 times. I don't think it has been that often.
Okay, that's good. Protocol's working because no one wants to be that person who ruins a take.
Yeah, I mean, I think the people put it on silence and stuff like that, so it's fine.
What would be your dream job?
Well, I did really enjoy this trip with the scientific and health content to it. So maybe something like that, like something where you travel, but
Everybody likes to travel.
but not for months, maybe for a week.
For a week, okay.
And you have to do sound for something that is meaningful.
Okay.
Not just, I mean, everything is meaningful for different kinds of people, but I feel like scientific things and like health things
So like
are
if National
important.
Geographic asked you to go to, Madagascar and document the eye, which is because of the way it looks, is being killed because the local people there think it's evil. But that would be something that you'd be like gone for a week and...
Yeah, that would be perfect because you're actually helping the planet. Like your job is contributing to something good. So I think that would be ideal. And then you're traveling.
I think we've come to the end of our show.
Okay.
I really appreciate you being here.
I appreciate to be invited.
Yes, of course. You can come on anytime. Is there any way that people can reach you if they want to get a hold of you, aside from, obviously, your stellar work in word of mouth?
I guess my Instagram.
Instagram? And what's your Instagram?
It's just my name.
That's right.
Yeah.
I follow you on Instagram.
Alexandra Parral, which is Alexandra, and then Parral, Parral. Because I don't have a website yet, because I should do it, but I haven't had the need to do it. I don't know.
That's good.
I mean, it's not for me that you do it, but I feel I should have one, but I haven't done it. So.
Okay, well, I thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to your next post on Instagram.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
I really hope you found this episode interesting. If you did, please hit that thumbs up down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get brand new episodes just like this. Feel free to give our Facebook page a like and follow on Instagram, both at Stories from the Set. On Twitter, it's Stories from capital D Set. And if by some chance you want to follow me personally, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Personal Jesus. So I got that going for me. Thank you again for taking the time to listen. If I can impart any wisdom to anybody out there, remember to fail big, and fail often so you can fail better.